The message that I share with you today is of great importance. Whoever wants a glimpse of heaven can listen to this message. They say that if you want to attain heaven, then you should follow proper karma and dharma. But for that, you have to know what that truly is. That's why I'm going to share this message with you. Dharma, which has its main seer as nature, quotes this in the Upanishad. Dharma is like a giant, magnificent and magnanimous tree, and Karuna is its root, whereas righteousness, following your promises, and going in the right path are like its leaves. And the divine essence of knowledge of Dharma is the fruit that it provides. Just like how a tree spreads its shade to all and not discriminating anyone and without expecting anything in return, the Dharma of a person is to share the knowledge, to share the divine essence of knowledge that he has attained in his life. The same way, I am going to share my knowledge with you all today, and I consider that the utmost important purpose of my life. And I hope that someone to which I share all my fruits to sows the seed of this knowledge and then turns into another big magnanimous tree of Dharma. For many years, we have been arguing about is Ramayana or Mahabharata true or not. But arguing about whether it's a fact or not is not important. But the values that it portrays is a fact, and that is of importance. The Upanishad has another name, and it's called Satyasa Satya, which is the truth of the truth. And that truth is what I'm going to share with you today, the true meaning of our Hindu religion. The Hindu religion consists of three main gods, which is known as the Hindu Trinity, which is Lord Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva. They all mean different things. For example, Shiva is the destroyer, Vishnu, the preserver, and Brahma, the creator. But in Vedic perspective, it just portrays three different attributes of Atma. And I'm going to tell about that in detail with you all. Lord Brahma, also known as the soul and the absolute, has another name called Hiranyagarbha, which is the unmanifest. You know what? Before this world was created, it had no names and forms. There was only one thing, which is the Atman, which is all-pervading consciousness. And when this Atman thought, all of its thoughts turned into creations, which are the names and forms, such as all the living things. That's what we are today. That's why Lord Brahma is called the creator, because all what it thought turned into creations. And second, God Vishnu. Vishnu, which is the all-pervading consciousness, which is nothing but the soul, which is the self-luminous reality in which all living beings dwell. Lord Vishnu has another name called Vasudeva, which is Annaithilim Vasipavar, which means that God dwells in all living beings and in nature. This has been the ultimate truth of Hindu religion. When the Supreme Atma, which is the God, manifests itself into the living beings, it takes up its name and its form. That's why the Vishnu is also known as the manifest form of God. As long as Atman prevails in a living being, it's said to be alive. And when the Atman leaves, it's said to be dead. So the Atman is the one which preserves the body. And that's why Atman, which is the Vishnu, is known as the preserver. And consecutively, Lord Shiva, who is also known as the destroyer. And the other devas, such as Indra Deva, Surya Deva, and many other gods, represent different forms of nature. Because as I told you, Hindu religion mainly believes that God is present in nature, and we must learn to pay respect and gratitude to it. But what has happened in the recent times? We have replaced the cool breeze. We have replaced the cool breeze of the trees with ACs. We have replaced the big magnanimous mountains and dug up all its soil and replaced them with buildings. And we've replaced the soil with tar roads in which the rain cannot penetrate. So we have gone against the laws of nature, which means we have gone against the law of Dharma. But in this COVID crisis time, we have realized that nature does not require millions of dollars to preserve it. It just requires time, which we didn't give it for a lot of years. When you keep mixing up a test tube full of sediments, what happens? The sediments keep floating in the water. But when you give it some time, it settles down. The same way, all what nature needs is some time. And what do you think is the most important reason for why our environment is in great danger today? Give me some reasons. You may say air pollution, noise pollution, humans, we are using bikes and cars and so on. But the ultimate reason for why our environment is in grave danger is because lack of gratitude and lack of respect to nature that we did not give. So we must learn to respect and pay that gratitude to nature, and only then we will preserve it after we realize its importance. So be grateful to nature, be grateful to God. Thank you.